Hello, everybody. Welcome to session 75 of Wyndburgh. We're 25 sessions away from 100, and I don't know what I'm going to do for session 100. Probably
clip show,
just aura farming, just hype moments in aura farming.
Yeah, it's true.
This Calypso is fucking minging. Suck your dad.
Suck your dad. I just tried this Calypso tropical breeze. It is fucking minging.
Alright, back.
Suck your dad.
Suck your dad. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Oh,
Peak British.
British, it is.
please, I get to hear it enough every day.
It is fucking minging. Oh my god. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's good to have you all here. We return for session 75. For those of you who are just picking up this VOD later on YouTube, or if you're watching right now, let's introduce each one of our players. We'll start with Kamazar. Introduce yourself and your character.
Hi, I'm Kamazar. My character is Orchimedes Demon Scorcher, a Orc Paladin Artificer.
Hell yeah. Next up, we got M. Introduce yourself and your character.
No.
She's the main character. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, I'm the main character. You should know this by now.
These are lies propagated by the deep state.
Anyway, go ahead, Em, and introduce your character. My god.
Sylvania, definitely.
Okay, knife is.
Yep, there it is.
Oi.
So true. Fucking knife
I
ears.
play a Filden, a wood elf ranger thingy.
Uh-huh.
Thingy.
Thingy.
M plays Ethilden. She's a wood elf ranger fighter.
I understood.
And
Yeah, she
next, next up we have Czar. Introduce yourself and your character.
I'm John Shitass, and I play.
Oh no, he's hitting his ass.
His entire ass is shit, yeah.
No, but I play Josiah Selbrook, human, thank God. Warlock Paladin. I'm the best. I'm the bestest there is, and I hold the damage threshold for the party.
There we go. Next up we have Lena. Introduce yourself and your character.
Oh, sorry. I just ate some popcorn.
How could you?
Don't you know popcorn
Hi.
is illegal?
Hi, I'm Lena. Oh, I can hear myself. My character is Naria, and she is a very fiery sorcerer lady.
And she's a high elf.
Oh yeah, and she's a high elf.
And next up
She's
we
a posh
have
twat.
a posh twat. There we go. And finally we have Yek. Tell us about you and your character.
Hello, my name is Yektan. My character is Dale, bard, rogue, negotiator, orator, and full-time liar.
Exactly. And
Nice.
the characters don't know. You want to tell what the characters don't know, Dale?
The characters don't know that I have
I'm
a bomb. No. I have a bomb strapped to my chest!
That's a stereotype. That's such a stereotype.
I'm on fentanyl.
No, it'd be a stereotype
You said it
if
right.
I had a bomb
said it.
strapped and it was like a date and saffron fuse.
Yeah.
No, but
Mashallah, mashallah.
yeah, no. My character is a changeling and he's trying to keep that hush hush secret, and he's been doing a good job? Question mark.
Yeah,
So far,
I saw you grow massive tits. I don't know what you're talking about. We all know at this point.
Alter self is a spell.
You didn't cast anything.
I did. I pretend to.
Oh.
That's how good I am at lying.
The weave said no.
so far as I know, only one character knows something's up. So, yeah.
Chat, do they know?
Chat, do they know? They don't know.
The answer is yes.
All right. So last time we left off, we had stopped by the northwestern checkpoint of the Kingdom of Magna, and we were heading towards Castle Magna, the capital, in order to deliver Rallian Vey, the elf, the Sylvanian elf soldier, to serve as evidence. Rallian. In order to try, keyword try, and stop this war from picking up steam and turning into essentially a continental conflict.
A world war.
If you will, yes. Oh, man. Wait, say that again.
Say that again. I love the call to nationalism and the mobilization of standing armies. I love it so much.
Everybody loves that. There's not a single person alive that doesn't love that. Isn't that right, chat? Chat, is this nationalism?
Yes.
All right.
This is good news.
But we can finally be bees. This is good news.
We can
Wait.
finally have a world war.
But we
This
can
is-
be.
You'll live.
This is
You'll
good
live
news.
to be 30.
You'll live for 30 years. All right. So, as we pick up, we're still on our way to Magna. You have roughly about a full day before we get there aboard the Lyra's Revenge. And this gives you all a chance for some downtime training. Lena and Kamazar, the way this works is you choose either an attribute or a skill to train. And after training, after a certain number of sessions, depending on your current level of proficiency, you gain another level of proficiency, and it's permanent. This is a way for you to very, very specifically and consciously throughout your RP to grow your character beyond what you normally would be able to do. For example, Czar, why don't you tell them what you did the last time you trained?
I looked at trees until I found the smallest of details upon the trees.
And what did
I
that give
trained
you?
my perception.
Exactly. So with enough training sessions, you are able to unlock new levels of proficiency, from half proficiency to full proficiency to even expertise. And the higher that level of proficiency is, the more training sessions you'll have to dedicate. So given that we have this downtime, what would each of you like to train? We'll start with you, Dale.
Okay, I already put on.
Yep.
I need to look at the specific things that I can do. But the first thing that comes to mind, I would. There's flintlocks, right? Setting.
There are, yes.
Wondering if I could train myself with a flintlock, or at least something more long range.
You would be able to get proficiency in what type of weapon? Let's see. In your case, it would be training with a revolver.
Revolver.
Or-
Revolver.
Revolver. Oh no, firearms. Here we go. You'd be able to get training with
There's a hunting rifle.
Right, but hunting rifles don't exactly exist.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, I would say proficiency weapon revolver. That would be
Okay.
under firearms.
Dale is now going to be trained with a big iron on his hip.
We're gonna
Yes.
put Dale in the washing machine so he learns how to rotate like the bullets in a revolver.
All right, Rod, please rotate me.
Would you be
I need you
rotating?
to. I need you to rotate me. Yep. Just let's go. I'm rotating like a revolver, revolving revolver.
Oh.
His ass is not revolving.
I will.
He's
Stop
doing
fucking the
it.
floor, Dale.
He's really doing it.
Yeah.
So Dale, you spend the next few hours, essentially having Kirith launch things off of the deck into the sky. Literally, you're skeet shooting.
I hope you're paying for that.
We can always forge new ones.
Says the
And-
man with almost 180k.
Hit me with a flat d20, if you will.
Okay. Oh, do you want me to use the roll 20 or not the roll 20? Okay,
In this,
did you want me to do it for combat or just for everything?
I would say for combat is the most important one. You can use
Okay.
regular
Oh, this is a
d20.
flat d20, so I don't need
Yeah.
I got a 4.
Okay.
Awesome.
On a 4, Dale, your unfamiliarity with the recoil of this weapon, your unfamiliarity with the mechanics of reloading and preparing it for another shot, it does put a dampener on your training. You have a sense that
Civilized weapon.
there you go. You have a sense that a couple more training sessions will truly familiarize yourself with it.
Okay.
Next up, we have Nadia. What would you like to train during this downtime?
I haven't done my homework. I don't know
Well,
what I'm doing.
There's a good chance for you to take a look at your sheet and look at something that you're either already good at and you would like to keep putting effort into that,
Ooh.
or something that you are just dog shit garbage at and maybe
What,
try
like
to
strength?
there you go, right? Maybe try to diminish the weakness you have on that sort of thing. This is 100% up to you, and there's no real right answer here.
So it can either be like a weapon or
It can be
something
any
like
sort of skill,
arcana.
any type of proficiency in training, or any of your attributes. I will let you know that attributes do take longer because those affect pretty much any skill that you might have with that. It includes languages. So if you'd like to learn a new language, for example, you are able to do that. You could also try to research a specific type of enemy or a specific type of tactic or a specific type of magic. You can try to learn more about the world around you, provided that you have the proper resources such as books and whatnot. It's essentially a time for your character to sit down and put their efforts, like concentrated effort, towards some goal that you might have for them.
Oh, Jamie just said he'd like to research racism.
The
I mean, you
racism
are an
tech
elf,
tree.
so- Yeah, it's a focus tree in like Hearts of Iron 4.
Yeah. Reassert Eastern claims.
Reasserts, yeah, though the end of it is assert elven dominance.
Elven supremacy.
Ooh.
The Elf Coast.
Oh no. Oh no. I think you probably would like to start researching medicine more.
Okay, yeah. Do you have any
I feel like that-
specific type of medicine you're thinking of, or is it just a general knowledge of medicine?
Sorry, what kind of medicine could it?
So
I would say
a helpful
yeah.
way to look at this, right, is to think of the
Mhm.
different types of things that might happen to your party members, for example. You can look
Yeah.
into dealing with bleeding or dealing with stun or paralysis or petrification, perhaps even perhaps even sleep, right? You can look into just being a better surgeon or being able to channel your magic into healing. You could look into poisons, you could look into different herbs. Obviously, many of these are flavor specific, but I will, the more creative you are with this, the higher the chance that you'll get some kind of extra bonus with it, right?
Hmm. It would definitely be like magic based thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So normally, medicine is done with wisdom. But
Yeah.
if you are to train with your magic, I will allow you to utilize your intelligence instead of. Let me just make sure of something here. Yeah. So, yeah, I would allow you to use your intelligence rather than your medicine when making medicine checks, right? So as you spend your time here on the Lyra's Revenge, you take the time to experiment with your magic and see how it reacts, for example, to your skin or to, let's say, a hangnail, and see how you can affect either the cellular regeneration, how you can affect the feelings of pain to increase it, to diminish it. And you'll roll a flat d20 for me now.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I think I rolled the right one. Okay. Well,
On an 18, Naria, being a sorceress, you've been attuned to magic, to the weave, your whole life. And
mhm.
in the same way that you would cast a spell to harm or to deal damage, you sense that it's almost like the best way you can explain it is like a slider. You can tune your weave to hurt and to harm, but you can also tune your weave to heal. It's the other end of the spectrum, right? You during this training, during this research, you sense that to harm and to heal are two ends of the same spectrum. And it gives you a deeper understanding of magic itself. And you feel that one more training session, if you have more time to train this a little more, you might have a breakthrough.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was going to say that she carries a lot of guilt. And she is naturally very destructive, right? So I feel like learning kind of healing arts would give her a new relationship with magic.
Very true.
And it wouldn't be just about attack and power. It would be about care. It would be about preservation and control. And perhaps it could balance her a bit more, her nature and emotionally. And maybe give her some sort of purpose, a different
sure.
purpose.
Yeah, for sure.
But she is seeking that. So I do like that.
Cool.
Thank you.
There you go. Yeah. This is exactly what these moments are for. It's a good way to get deeper into your own character's journey with a mechanical act and a mechanical reward. Next up, we have Saltbrook. What would you like to train?
I gotta go figure out how my fucking gauntlets work.
Ooh, You're gonna research your artifact of Bahamut?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. How would you go about doing that, Saltbrook?
I'm going to my captain's quarters and I'm going to take them on my hands. And I'm going to look at them and I'm going to get a measure of them and feel their magic with my power and connection to the weave.
So you're using your Arcana in this research?
Yeah.
Okay. Saltbrook, as you descend into your captain's quarters, as you walk in, you sense that Lyra is here. She's with you. She's in this room right now. She seems to be inspecting the bookshelves. Ever since you got the Lyra's Revenge, you haven't really had the time to customize and personalize the ship itself. And a lot of, if not all of the books that are present on these bookshelves belong to the former owners of this ship. And as she's going through them, she turns around absentmindedly and tries to hold a book to show you. But like a poltergeist, it just sort of flies off of the shelf and flies over your head, hitting the door frame behind you. Oh, sorry, Dad. Still not really, still getting the hang of the whole corporeal, no corporeal thing. You'd think 5 years would be enough for a girl to figure out how to, be a ghost.
I doubt there was a book to figure out how to be a ghost. It's alright. It's not like I own the books anyways. They're from the people we stole the boat from.
Right.
What do you have there?
Well, the book I was trying to get, and she flies through you. You feel this chill running up your spine as she goes through you. She just like tries to grab it off the ground. You know when you have very big fingers and you're not able to like grab a penny off the ground? That's sort of what she's doing, but with a whole
I've
book.
never had that problem.
I have. Anyway, and she's just trying to like grab it off the ground, but she can't. And she's like, well, this one talks about ghosts and spirits and whatnot. It seems that the past captain had some sort of either an obsession or a phobia of ghosts, which is very ironic, believe me.
I'm gonna pick it up and I'll open to page 1. Put it on the desk next to my my gauntlets.
As you're setting down your gauntlets on the table.
Yeah.
As you set it down, you see that Lyra's gaze goes from the book over to your gauntlets, and she leans over to sort of like take a closer look at them. So you got these from Bahamut, right?
I got them after killing someone, but yes, in a roundabout way.
What do they do?
They extend my capacity into the weave beyond what I'd normally be able to do.
So
To a point.
So they do what I do.
Yes, but no. You are the wellspring. You could think of I suppose you could think of them as a windmill.
And am I the wind?
Well, you're the wellspring. You're where the source is. The windmill merely generates additional power.
Do you mean a water wheel, Dad? You're thinking of a water wheel, not a windmill.
Oh, yeah. They build them together these days.
And as she giggles and laughs at your joke, you see that your gauntlets seem to react. There's a stirring in them. Something stirs within them.
Lyra, see if you can touch the gauntlets for me.
Okay. And she looks at you very like, what the fuck? All right.
I scratch my beard, musing on the subject.
As she touches the gauntlets, you see that her hands stop for a moment before she goes through them and then through the table. You saw that, right?
Worth a shit. Yes, I did. Curious.
There's like a warmth in them whenever I hold on, let me try it again. And as she pulls it through the gauntlet, right? She goes through it on the way in, and as she's pulling it back, the gauntlets sort of like lift for a moment and they clink back onto the table with her movement.
Interact with them. To a limited degree.
And as it clinks back onto the table, Saltbrook, in the same way that they vibrate and that there's a small bit of light that shines from them every time that it extends your capabilities, it does the same thing. There's a connection here.
Let me ponder the weave.
Give me a flat d20.
16.
On a 16, Saltbrook,
Yep.
there is, you know, when you're trying to do a puzzle and you have that aha moment, it's that moment in your brain where the connection is made and it's unspoken. You can't really explain that feeling you get in your head where, oh shit, it makes sense. You connect two things, Saltbrook. You remember at the Father Forge, at the resurrection of Grimorian, when Judd, equipped with the Comet Ballista that Dale now carries, sacrificed himself. And you remember his words, "I will be a coward no longer." As the Comet Ballista shifted, it changed shape and form and became almost this real siege ballista in his hands. Massive. He shouldn't have been able to hold that, let alone aim it and fire it without being sent flying. But he did. And afterwards, the Comet Ballista returned to its former shape. You make a connection. You already knew that there was something more about these artifacts. But if something stirs within your artifact, and if the technique you and the others rely on is called awakening, something sleeps in here too. And its awakening has to do with either Lyra or your relationship to her.
Down real quick. This might be stupid, but try putting them on, Lyra. As you would a normal pair of gloves.
I have very small hands. It's not going to fit me, but all right.
Just try it.
And you see that she places both of her hands above the gauntlets and lowers them through them to try and sort of, just sort of fit. And as this happens, Saltbrook, roll a perception check for me.
I'm perceiving it at a 24.
Saltbrook, your right eye wells up for a split second because you perceive the very faint scent of blueberries. Very specifically, the blueberry pies that your wife would make for you. In that split second where Lyra's hands align with the gauntlets from the inside, not only do you sense that Lyra becomes less translucent, but the scent of blueberries carries through the captain's quarters. And without you even noticing it, there's a well of emotion within you. And a moment later, it's gone. And Lyra stops for a second and she turns over to you, and you can see that she's crying. But not sobbing, it's almost as if those tears escaped her eyes without her even noticing. She looks very puzzled at you. What just happened?
I don't know. But I felt it too. I'm gonna wipe the tear from my eye. It obviously is there.
It felt like Mum.
Yes. It did.
And you see her brow furrow, very specifically in the way that her mother used to. There's determination in her eyes. Let's keep trying stuff. There's something here.
Just need to find out what it is.
Solbrook, you now have an intrinsic knowledge and understanding that not only are there further, let's call them levels to these artifacts, but that yours is currently stirring where it was only dormant before.
Functional.
Next up, we have Ithilden.
Oh.
What would you like to train or do?
First and foremost, how high is my dex score allowed to go?
Normally the max would be 20, right? But
Yeah.
given that the campaign allows for us to go to epic levels, which is above level 20, your max dex, as it is now, it can go up to 30.
Okay. I would like to then study the Manual of Quickness of Action. Increase my dex by 2.
Fuck yeah.
From the gnomes.
Indeed. Ethel, as you sit down next to Thalion, he bows his head to you and very specifically seems to sniff at this manual. He tilts his head over to the side. There's a look of recognition in his eyes for a moment, but it goes away very quickly.
What, you don't like the smell of gnome?
It's not the smell of gnome that I'm feeling right now. I could have sworn it was. Oh, never mind.
Warn it was what? And like I kind of like smack pat him on the head like, hey.
It smells like you, but also not you. It doesn't make any sense.
Like elf?
No, not like elf. Nadia doesn't smell like you. She smells like burnt cinders and ash. And you only smell like that sometimes.
Do I recognize the handwriting?
Ethel, give me a perception check and a history check.
Okay. Oh, wait, I'm in the trailer. Should I use my physical dice?
You can, yeah.
Whee! Oh, I'm so excited. Hold on.
You should post like a picture of the dice I got you later.
Oh, the sets that you got me.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, they're up at the house.
You got the green ones with you?
Yes, yes I do. 14 plus 8, 22 for perception.
Okay.
Then this. Okay. I'm gonna take a picture of it.
Was
They
it a nat
believe me.
20?
Yeah.
Yeah, put it in general. I
Put
believe
it
you,
in
but
general.
Put it in general. Go ahead.
Put it in general. Not the 95th barracks. No, not that. Ignore my desk. One of my eyeshadow palettes decided to fucking explode, and I've been trying to clean it up for the last 15 minutes. And it was like the black shade.
Nice. Fuck yeah. Yep, that's a nat 20. On a nat 20 with history, Ethel, you immediately recognize this handwriting. You've only seen it once or twice in your life, but for some reason right now, it's an instant connection. This is the handwriting of your grandfather, Eronhar Celarius. You've only seen it maybe once or twice in your life. And in fact, the only time you saw it was when you sneaked into your dad's quarters while he was out training. And you were very young. You must have been at most 12 or 13. And you rifled through some of his papers as Lord Commander. And one of those had the same handwriting as this. And it referred to your father, to Aetherion, as his son-in-law. So it immediately becomes clear to you that this is your grandfather's writing. You never met him. In fact, you've heard of him so little that there's so few stories about him. But the connection is made. This was written by your grandfather.
Very cool. I tell that to Thalion.
Your granddad. Makes sense. Do I have a granddad?
I'm sure you do. It'll be a matter of finding if he's still alive.
Wonder if he's a dragon.
I kind of just look at him like, yeah, I would think he is.
I don't know. There's Dragonborn. You've seen Eggson.
Oh god, I don't want to think about that right now.
All
Like
right.
imagining like the possibilities of crossovers and
Well, the thing about Dragonborn is that there's that joke, right? Where two dragons that are disguised as mortals, like,
Yeah.
have a kid, and the kid is half Dragonborn. And it's like, can you turn into a dragon? No, they were both in human form.
it's just a guy.
Yeah, he's just it's the fucking reverse centaur.
Yeah.
Ethel, with now give me a flat D20.
Okay. Well, remember my perception was 22?
Yes. Well, first you noticed the
8.
handwriting, then you recognized it.
Right, okay. I got an 8.
An 8. Ethel, a lot of the information that's written here is a secondhand account of dragon riders. Your grandfather lived 1,000 years ago. Elf lifespans make, generational knowledge very difficult to pass from one to the next. Provided that, if the previous generation is alive to tell it, it's not as hard. But if the previous generation is gone and unable to give the context for that information, it can be extremely difficult. A lot of the information being used here, a lot of the language is very unfamiliar. Culture has shifted over the last 1,000 years so much that a lot of the things that are written use words that you can make the connection of what those words became, but it's also very much filled with slang.
It's like reading Old English, kind of.
Yeah, in a way. It's more like reading Victorian English, right? But not the sort of like Shakespearean stuff.